So when you've got a Gen Z and they understand one form of technology and one form of communication, then you've got a more mature audience, and that more mature audience understand picking up the phone, conflict resolution, things of that nature. Coming into an open forum can sometimes bring you that little bit closer. Now, when you do come closer, it might be that much, but that much could be completely out of the norm if you never come into an environment like that. If you're sitting with the Z-Gen and they're sitting over there and you're sitting over there and you never have these open forums, you could probably be moving away. So coming closer with the Z-Gen generation is really powerful, because that 1 centimeter, that little centimeter that you move forward could make a huge impact to everybody else. It's cross-generational mentoring, basically, where you pair a Gen Z employee with a more mature, older mentor. And what happens is they get mutual learning. So the Z-Gen thinks, oh, okay, I'm starting to learn human behavior. What's human behavior? Oh, I'm reading expressions. Oh, how do I know if somebody's got a real smile? Okay, well, their face will start to line up a little bit up here and it'll start to wrinkle. Oh, how do I know if someone doesn't like me? Oh, their lip moves up a little bit. To a Z-Gen, that's amazing. That's incredible. To someone that's mature, they think, yeah, it makes sense. To a Z-Gen, that's mind-boggling. Doesn't make sense. It actually is mind-boggling. We know this because we train them. And some of the things that they love and embrace is how to communicate with people. We know that 55% of communication is body language. 38% is tone, 7% of words. Now, if you've got a Z-Gen and they're operating off a phone, and if I had a phone, I'd show you right now, and you could type into that phone, they're operating at 7% communication. So once you start to deliver that message and you package that message and you frame it well enough so they understand how important communication is to become an entrepreneur, to become successful, to become powerful, to get to where they want to get, to buy a house, to buy a car, to go on a holiday, all those things combined, they start to embrace the delivery around communication, body language and tone together. And they'll get that through someone that's a lot more mature, because they'll deliver those messages. So you can talk, unite, learn, and that's all powerful communication when you bring the whole lot together. Then you've got what's called reverse mentoring. So this is what customers that we deal with on a day-to-day basis don't understand. And this is what companies don't understand. And this is where you get a younger employee to mentor an older colleague. So it's the young person coming in, mentoring the older person. And of course, a lot of them are in leadership positions. They're like, how can a Gen Z come and mentor me? Well, they can, because they've got a lot of knowledge around social media. They've got a lot of knowledge around YouTube. They've got a lot of knowledge around the marketing and communication out there today. So when you get a younger person that mentors an older person, all of a sudden you break that stereotype and you promote respect from both within. Procter & Gamble implemented a reverse mentoring program where younger employees mentored the senior employees, and basically it brought them closer with digital trends, technology, and marketing for the future. Maybe it took a while to do and put into place, and a bit of planning, but once it happens, it's a rinse and repeat thing. It's like, right, we've got these people with this knowledge, why not use that? So if you've got a black belt in karate, and then you've got a black belt in taekwondo or judo, and you bring those two together, you're getting two very fine-tuned arts, and makes them very powerful. If you've got a Z-Gen over here, and then you've got a mature person over here, and you bring them together, that's like bringing two black belts together. So if you use that sort of reverse mentoring technique and forward mentoring technique, your company can deliver some great results in a short amount of time. What are the training and development opportunities? Well, the training needs to be accessible and relevant, because the Z-Gens have a very limited capacity around patience and understanding things. If things are boring, they'll tap out. It needs to be practical and it needs to be applicable. So in our trainings, especially with Z-Gens, we do a lot of role playing. Now, they don't like getting up in front of people and doing this, but once they get into it, they love it, because they can see that they're advancing. And one thing about Generation Z, they like advancing. They all like being successful. If you go back a few more decades, not everybody wanted to climb up the corporate ladder. Some people are just happy just doing what they're doing. Nothing wrong with that. But with Z-Gens, they're pressured by their peers, they're pressured by their colleagues, they're pressured by their siblings to go up that ladder. And even if they don't want to go up that ladder, they're pressured. Now, some people have the drive to get to the top. Other people have the drive to move forward. Other people have the drive to get up fairly soon, but they've got goals in place. Others don't care. They want to go straight to the moon, right? And they'll knock off every star on the way to the moon, right? But they're all going up. So it needs to be practical. It needs to ensure there's continuous learning because they get bored. And some of the things they learn, they could sort of forget quite quickly because they're looking at learning something new. And whatever they want to learn, it's up to them. So if you make it interesting enough, they'll want to do it. And how do you make it interesting? You show them the yellow brick road. And that yellow brick road leads to a pot of gold. Salesforce offered extensive training programs through its Tailhead platform, catering to diverse different learning styles and career paths for Z-Gens and for everybody. But one of the things were they wanted to do it in a diverse manner. So, implementing these new skills and these trainings optimizes your relationship management, it optimizes your workflows, it also creates advanced type of reporting. All right, so engaging with Gen Zs through authentic communication. So with Gen Zs, they like high values, they like honesty. You need to be direct with your communication though. You can't beat around the bush. They could possibly rebel if you did that. To appeal to them, your organizations need to focus on transparent communication, and that could be open forums, where you've got 2 or 3 people in the meeting. Strategies can include open workshops, what we call a safe space. So a safe space is where you can come out and the Gen Z knows that everything that you say is safe. Everything that you say is hidden. Everything you say is protected and it's not going to go anywhere else. They love that. We at Dynamo, what we actually do is we promote what's called pajama parties, where we have rooms where the pajama party shows that everybody in the room, they come in there and they give you their secrets, they give you all these different desires and things that they've been talking about and their little idiosyncrasies and their issues and challenges, and they're protected. So when they leave there, they've got it off their chests. It's a bit like downloading stuff and getting off your chest. Genuine dialogue and consistent action messages. So it needs to be genuine. They prefer transparent in every form of communication. So diverse information exposure is great as long as it's transparent.